Every day, 6,000 people like Stuart show up to make quality products at Appliance Park in Louisville, Kentucky. From washing machines and dryers to refrigerators and dishwashers, it takes hundreds of jobs to make one appliance. One task in particular was troublesome.
I hated doing it. Every time I walk up to the box, like, here we go again.
When assembling our refrigerators, operators needed to lift the top off of a box of insulation about 15 times a day. The box lid weighs about the same as 5 medium-weight bowling balls. Its shape is bulky, and the job, injury-prone.
And then finally, it just started hurting me. I got a hernia from it.
This ergonomic issue really took its toll on Stuart.
So we did an ergo assessment, found out that it was an ergo red job.
We came up with a perfect solution, a crane. Using the crane, employees can roll the frame over the box and then use the crane to lift it up.
It's like the difference between driving a go-kart and a Cadillac. Just hook up the machine, crank it up, they come off piece of cake.
It feels good. Had an impact on somebody's life so they can go home to their family safely and be able to play with their kids or grandkids. The ultimate goal is to leave work as you came in.
Guess what? Before this crane, there were 2 lost time incidences. With an $800 investment in the crane, we can report 0 injuries. Every day, 6,000 people show up to make quality products at Appliance Park in Louisville, Kentucky. From washing machines and dryers to refrigerators and dishwashers, our assembly lines hum all day long. On our washing machine line, employees were doing a balancing act. Using their hands as a table, they plugged in connectors to the backsplashes, which caused 20 pounds of pressure on their hands and wrists.
You're also bending your neck looking down. So now we've got neck flexion as well as the wrist and the carpal tunnel.
We found a way to get that backsplash out of their hands by using a carousel. The carousel holds the backsplashes while the operators push in the connectors.
No weight on their hands, no pressure on their wrists for making the connections because the carousel supports all the weight.
Now we need fewer operators for that job and reduced the number of complaints for that task to 0.
Feedback from my people is great. They love it. Nobody likes wrist pain, because those are pains you take home and they affect everyday life.
It makes you feel successful. It makes you feel happy. You start seeing that there's no more injuries and that the rates are going down.
We put a new spin on an Ergo Red task and immediately saved the business $260,000 a year.
Ergonomic case study. Suture automated cut and dispense process. Before, setup of 17 spools. Risk of ergonomic injury due to reach across body. After, setup of 1 spool. No ergo risks. Before, if not appeared in suture dispense, injury risk appeared due to the need of an extraordinary pull force. Also, injury may appear due to pinch grip force and wrist flexion after 2,000 repetitions. Finally, thread length and measurement of suture may cause injury due to shoulder abduction, shoulder flexion, long reach across body from left to right. After, with automation, risks are eliminated. Long reach, reach across body, pinch grip force, wrist flexion, pronation and deviation, shoulder abduction, and neck flexion. Before, at manual verification of measurement, injury risk due to shoulder and neck flexion, also by a bad posture. After, verification process is integrated on automated process. A 90 degrees position is accomplished. Before, on packaging, long reach, and shoulder flexion over a 70-degree angle and more than 725 reps. After, work process based on micro pauses. No risk since cart can be moved. Also, there's no long reach risk since packaging movement length is of short.
Damaged product from our distribution process and credits and returns area would be placed into a shredder bin for destruction. Operators would struggle when sliding and pushing damaged product into the small opening, causing a possible chance for an injury to the hand and knuckle area. Damaged product would build up in the front of the shredder bin. Consequently, operators would have to lift up the bin and tilt the shredder bin back and forth. Operators were complaining of strain and fatigue to the back, shoulders, and elbows. Operators brought their concerns to management's attention, and subsequently, the shredder bins were unlocked. Unlocking of the shredder bin and having a large opening eliminated possible injuries to the hand and knuckle area. It did not, however, eliminate strain and fatigue to the elbows and shoulders. Operators got together with the Ergo team and came up with a simple design for a push tool to push damaged product toward the back of the shredder bin. When the Ergo team reevaluated the job, they realized the low risk of the lift and tilt had been totally eliminated. More importantly, operators were no longer complaining of strain and fatigue to their elbows and shoulders. Huge rewards for the operators in terms of increased safety, job satisfaction, and feeling involved in improving the safety of their workplace. It's simply good to push it.
another girl like you. Drag me under if I need another girl like you. I will tell her, never want another girl like you. Have to say, oh, nothing gonna break my stride. Nobody gonna slow me down. Oh no, no, I got to keep on moving. Ain't nothing gonna break my stride.
For 2016, we decided to pursue the conveyor transportation because it is one of the things that scored a 10 on the REBA assessment.
The Tyler Pipe team researched the causes of the high REBA score. They found loading the conveyor into the gasket machine required awkward body positioning for the operator, and it took around 200 pounds of force to move the unit, as well as needing 2 or 3 people for setup. The team developed a way to attach caster wheels with brakes to the conveyor. They also added a slide rail attachment that prevented the conveyor from dropping to the floor when sliding out of the machine, eliminating potential pinched fingers, shoulder strains, and crushed foot injuries. By adding swivel casters and a braking system, along with the slide rail, it made it possible for one person to insert the gasket conveyor into the gasket machine. Just guide into position and apply the brakes. The new process created neutral body positioning with a 180-pound reduction in force needed to move the unit. This improvement lowered the REBA score to 1, making injury risk minimal. Magnets were added in the front to adhere to the gasket machine while pulling the conveyor out, making for a smooth transition. No more conveyor falling to the ground, no more costly potential injuries.
In Toyota Motor Manufacturing de Baja California, our biggest commitment is to build our Tacomas with the highest quality without compromising the safety of the members of our team. Reviewing our processes, we detected in the assembly consoles area a red condition or out of standard ergonomic condition based on Toyota's ergonomic assessment tool. We shouldn't twist the hand more than 3 times by element. For this reason, we looked for a solution to the problem. Potential countermeasure 1, gear knob plug-in. Changing the design will generate a very high cost. Potential countermeasure number 2, use crank. Generate scratches. Potential countermeasure number 3, jig and portable electric tool. Satisfies all requirements and was implemented. Costs and benefits.
slow cut.
At GE Aviation, we repair and overhaul high-pressure compressor for aircraft engines.
This repair process involves a conventional die set and a press machine.
The conventional die sets are big, heavy, and require long setup time.
Do we have a way to solve these issues?
Yes, we do. We combine lean, safety, and ergonomics in our latest innovation, SMED.
The conventional die set weighs a massive 165 pounds.
But now, with innovative SMED die sets, we reduce the weight to just 17 pounds, eliminating manual handling of heavy loads. We modified the press machine by installing a master base to receive SMED die sets with no setup sequences, therefore achieving total removal of awkward postures and forceful exertions. The SMED die sets are very much lighter and simple. This greatly reduces the ergonomic risk of this repair process.
Okay, what we have here, we have the assembly of what's called a mini liquor rack that goes in our 450 and 550 aircraft. They each have credenzas in them. These are plexiglass parts that come to us from the CNC. And when they come to us, the corners are rounded. And what we have to do is we have to square the corners out in order for everything to mesh together. Use your approach tool, which only cuts supposedly basically pulling to you. To get it started, then you have to hold it down, pull on it. By doing that, now it gives us a square knot. Rope is mounted underneath. So basically, stick it in here like so. Then now we have all this leverage with this handle, and then it all just takes a view like this. The setup you see here is done with a lot of imagination, and basically some parts that Jeff had in his garage at home.
team of engineers and technicians at Los Alamos National Laboratory developed a new potting process for the fabrication of detonators that reduces ergonomic injuries, reduces processing time by more than 20 hours, and improves resin quality. First, they measured the process using Lean Six Sigma tools to understand the root cause of the problem. Then they analyzed the data to improve the resin's performance. Using the solutions the team implemented, the new potting process now takes only 2 hours, has superior quality, 0 rejects, 0 rework, and best of all, 0 ergonomic injuries, making it the most efficient manufacturing process in the entire detonator production agency. New microscopes were installed to allow technicians to work more ergonomically during visual inspection. The RTV mold received vent channels to improve the potting fixture assembly. A high shear mixer was added to eliminate technician fatigue or musculoskeletal strain, and an ingenious solution that eliminated the manual screwing and unscrewing of 480 bolts. A new assembly fixture design was effectively implemented that included integration of magnetism, light spring load forces, and reduction of metal mass. The improvements in ergonomics, quality, and manufacturing efficiency resulted in an impressive return on investment of $3.5 million.
Every day, 6,000 people show up to make quality products at Appliance Park in Louisville, Kentucky. From washing machines and dryers to refrigerators and dishwashers, it's our job to make sure our employees go home safe and sound. That's why we had to get a handle on an issue affecting employees on our washing machine line.
Where they had flexion in their neck, they had flexion in their back. There were so many different problems going on.
You can see that pushing in a hose caused a bent back, wrist extension, and contact stress on the knees.
It made us hurt. We were just tired of it.
We started having injuries and a high turnover rate. To fix this, we created a handle that eliminated all of the ergonomic risks.
I wanted to develop something to where they could stand without bending over, a handle that was comfortable.
No more back flexing, wrists are in neutral position.
It's really fast. It makes the job a whole lot easier.
This simple fix only took $30 per workstation.
It gives me a great feeling when I've improved something and the people are happy on the line.
In theory, we saved the company over $70,000, and in reality, went from 3 injuries in 6 months to 0 in a year, plus a decrease in turnover. How's that for handling business?
Oh, it makes me feel great because it makes me feel like I'm important and that they don't want me going home hurting every day.
Cleaning the sleeping room is a routine maintenance task for our city field service. With the support of the new tool, we get a big benefit in return.
keep on because the force, it's got a lot of power, and it makes me feel like it makes me feel like it.